Hello, Dan here from 15 Second Gear Demo. I've been asked to do this little coffee and chat thing where I make myself a coffee and chat about one of my guitars by my good friend Marcus. So yeah, I have a coffee in my lovely Dat Pedal Show mug and I have a guitar. So let's have a little chat. So yeah, this is my guitar, or one of my guitars. As you can probably tell, it's not one that I found on a rack at a guitar store. It's one that I basically built from the ground up in a way. I got all the parts from it, and yeah, put it all together, and I absolutely love it. I was so happy with how it came out. But yeah, as you can tell, it's a sort of your standard sort of Strat type body. I'll show you the back. It's a two-piece walnut body. Your normal contours on the back, which is handy for this lockdown gut that I'm starting to sport. And yeah, but obviously on the front, it's just completely flat. And the reason behind that was because of this palm bender here, this Bigsby palm bender. This I sort of acquired. I was at a guitar show a couple of years back, and it was in a box under a table on a stand that no one was looking in, and it was right at the bottom. And I sort of rummaged through that for some reason. I don't know what I was looking for, but I found it, and I was like, I'm having that. So the guy behind the stand was like, yeah, I don't know what that is, but if you want it, yeah, have it. How much is it? I don't know. So I ended up paying like something really like 40 quid or something like that. Because normally like you see the Duesenberg ones, or there's a couple others as well. They're like really expensive. And just for like a trial, I was like, yes, I'm definitely having that. So yeah, you'll see that I have modded it, because originally the levers were just solid bits of metal. So yeah, I've sort of, they came to about here, which is, for just normal playing, it's completely useless for me, because they would dig in your hand, you can't palm mute or anything like that, and they just got in the way. And for how much I use it, they need to be out of the way for 99.9% of the time for me. So I hacked away at them with a Dremel, cut them in half, and then screwed them back together, so I've got some lever action, so I can just move them out of the way, which is awesome. So yeah, above that, above the palm bender, we've got the Fidelity bridge, which is just a kind of like a classic telly style bridge, three saddle bridge with brass saddles, but the sort of outer bit of it, the casing of it, I don't know what you call it, the tray, let's call it a tray, it's so sturdy, literally bomb proof. I hope, I don't know, I've never tried it. But yeah, and Matt sorted me out with a pick guard as well, from Fidelity. He's got some awesome pick guard material in his workshop, so I was like, any chance you could sort me out? And he was like, yeah. So yeah, forever grateful for Matt, because he's always been a massive help. So yeah, he cut that out for me. In the pick guard, we've got the McNelly gold foil pickups, which I got from James, who again sorted me out with he wired it all up for me basically. So I've got one of his wiring harnesses in there. James is home tone. I think I'm wearing his t-shirt at the minute. Not his t-shirt, my t-shirt that I bought from him. That'd be weird if I was just wearing his t-shirt. Anyway, but yeah, and yeah, it just, it just sort of looks different. Like I said, it's not one that you go into a store and just normally see on a rack somewhere. I put a lot of thought into it and how I was going to use it and what I was going to use it for. The paint job I did myself as well, which turned out surprisingly well. to say how I did it, because I didn't spray it, because I've sprayed the guitar before and it turned out alright, but not properly, whereas this turned out really well. For the technique I used as well, I just got one of the, like a wall paint roller, like a small one, and painted a layer on, sanded it back, did a layer, sanded it back, etc, etc, then put a clear coat over the top. But yeah, like I say, it turned out pretty even, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. You'll see as well, I've got the binding around the edge of the guitar as well. That was the biggest thing when it came to the paint, was scraping off the binding afterwards. So you'll see, like, there are a couple of chunks missing where I've dug in too hard with the blade and stuff like that, but it's things like that where you learn. So for next time I'll know kind of how to do it, or I'll be a bit more cautious or something, I don't know. Maybe I'll just never do binding again, I don't know. But yeah, it's things like that that make guitars like this kind of more unique, because it has got little things that, you know, it's got the sort of makeshift levers that you wouldn't have on a guitar off the shelf, and it's got a dodgy paint job and dodgy binding. But yeah, it turned out really nice, I think anyway. It's actually turned into one of the best playing guitars I've got, after my white Strat, because that's still the guitar I'd sort of compare all my other guitars to, or any guitar to that I try. It sort of has to feel to that standard, if you know what I mean. Which this sort of does, because the neck on it, I can't remember where I got the neck from, but it's you know, it's a standard type of Strat neck, but it's a really chunky one, which my 62 reissue is a really chunky neck, which is what I like about it, because I've got fairly sizable hands, let's say. But yeah, this is the closest neck that I've found to it that isn't an exact copy of that, I guess. Oh yeah, and you'll probably notice on the headstock, my Vol.1 decal, that was, you know, I put that on there because one, it looked bare without a logo on there, and two, I really needed to try out my decal skills because I'm starting to build guitars, and I wanted to try it on a guitar that I don't mind necessarily cocking up. So I tried it on that, and it worked really well, and it sort of made me realise that it's going to look good when my own builds are done, and it gave me a real kick up the arse to get this finished. Although yeah, that's taken a bit of a backseat at the minute with all this lockdown stuff going on. But yeah, I'll build it and I'll show you when that's all done as well. And yeah, while I'm on the subject of the headstock, the tuners, the classic locking tuners, again, a reason why it's a classic partscaster is because I ordered them, and I ordered the right ones, I should say. I ordered right-handed tuners, machine heads, and after I put it all together, I realised that they were left-handed ones that they'd sent me, even though on the invoice it said right-handed. I can't remember where I got them from, which is probably for the best. But yeah, I've got left-handed tuners on this, which is really, if I'm not thinking, it's kind of confusing because everything's backwards, so it is what it is. Luckily, I don't gig that much, so it's not going to confuse me. If I did, I would probably change them. They did offer to exchange them, I should add, but by the time I had to send these back, send them back, blah blah blah. Fuck it, can't be arsed. So yeah, this is my guitar. It hasn't got a name, but yeah, like I said, the more I played this, it's actually becoming one of my favourite guitars to play, because it just feels really nice. Oh, I've got a Tusk nut on there as well, which I've recently added. Yeah, I don't use the bender as much as I should, because I don't know how to. No, I said a lie. I kind of know how to, but it scares the shit out of me. But yeah, I'll get there. But yeah, thanks for listening. But yeah, that's my guitar, and I'm out of coffee, or it's cold at least now. So, yeah, do this again another time. Speak to you soon.